Sorry, kabri murunta nang ali nyinkelo ke for following the 2016. Obviously, Gambian diaspora role men play bien ajere for following onyeke. Bayri tonya wato minu bijang. Itolle karte fay, itolle tate courage te karte fay. But tonya molle benun koma minuka munuke minke support no. Minuka min be kere banko kanjal nunga kamabole no. Bantalan kolle ka foye ka fintinde WhatsApp forum ko Barrow fa onene ya fola ko na wulta ka WhatsApp forum le mune fobi ka tun ka information ko fa now kabrin following to the 2016 inata say is it 16 or 17
no it began for 2 years January 2015 not a jam
wow
na passport banta 2015 kono so ntata immigration where there am sukutanko atana director general so the passport banko batunga renew because man la fini airport ni na British passport katambiji ni obusin na Gambia passport tembo so bit hitata you feel be process for printing so man the ban list le kono e do man kan to damati pasamba jaw other people will be told be well
so can you mean for ko Tonyalo list all of Jamie along with more banding when a passport, so that was true.
No, I experienced it directly. Boot Konyako, may Allah bless his soul, Abantale. I call your instructions like dinner con passport deal. I call you, I call you barim by a Marquanka, no. Canela life and danger. I do what the manted. Canela life and danger. Yeah. So, then we work at one day I am from at UK. I have to go to the UK. So I'm in the passport I'll do my roto, you know. Neither got the passport, you know, Barrow, of course, na British passport, no water from Titania. I didn't think I would pass the airport.
Yeah.
So mum passport sort of for 2017 didn't change the scatter.
From 2015?
Yeah. Passport of Bembul jail from now attended by Renew 2017. Yeah, they told me in Bubia from Bubia very well.
They didn't even issue you, that only says go, you know.
Yeah. Yes. So what a cutter. So my passport to put in Baron Batajan, Banta Kafa. Yes, my passport so to malong instructions, but a damning by cold dole Kachalabika Kalamta. Yeah, Fabata NIA, Bang Fabata Munto a little, but Bubia Fanyele clearly co a concan the banless letter. Sorry. Yeah, I can't be my no, don't endanger yourself. Yeah, I understand. So now do I could have gone to Senegal na plane or tagging at London. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So obviously, in Tolfanan Kual Kelly, and Tolfan facilitate Puru Barrow and Naman. Yes. There is 7 years Banta, and Dolphins in Tuwali, even though, so Tuwali, they collected monies from people, many along they were willing to contribute. Now, okay, to make so, you know, single years. I tell you, I'm to Gambia until I horror yes.
So, but in 2017, Kabrim Falling okay, that you worked so hard in the diaspora, Puruka Nim Falling okay. Gambian Jama Fananka for the Okang. Kabrim Falling okay, 2017, why is it that Ima try Puruka join the government to help, especially with this decorated profile that you have, Kawo Karangola Karola, and obviously honesty and Tilingola Karanto for Nora, Ndofala, like Mobe Olone. But why is it that Ima try at least Puri Mansakunda Doku, at least if an impact momenti, I effect no in this government?
Well, try to tell you too, I already napati mwana mfanye NEP wala mnyenti you know kana dun kuma diamel kono mini alonko you know ibina ngini wal siandel
I could ask no see this is my problem with politicians no okay so yeke politician or because he
Yeah.
Ide Benjamin, Pamodu ko jawe membe kere ka fole nyama. Odi. So, and I do understand to be politically correct. But this is something it's important also. At least
obviously, His Excellency President Barrow attend to Najai. I Palaso Dimale, very my party Bendino.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Interior, I am offer. But why I think a workout, Alcali Conte, and in Kutubo Mani, and Banta Bullfoot. Well, the more float many I work out. Nobody else was involved. Yeah. So what Fadera, I tell them Secretary General. Yeah. So I tell them President Bitang and Dubai, somewhere in the Arab world, you know. So, but obviously, so we work at her. Entire Supreme Court for a declaration. Cool. This dual nationality issue, a change to law. Yeah. So the justice during the oral hearings, I am for of a ministerial. So I give the because okay, you don't have to answer that question. What will ultimately have a Supreme Court for a declaration? Ko luwa falintale. Even the new government man aware, but luwa falintale in 2001.
Luwa falintale.
Until okay. Yeah, sometimes Supreme Court na family me beke. You know, I wrote my briefs. The state wrote its briefs. So nata. But Supreme Court ito fanga issue so te left again addressment. So wula issue from tanga jurisdiction settle. When you karo nata ko wale kono fo ye offer ministerial. Obviously ko being President Tema or President Lamoli at that preliminary level.
You can say
Hakil to a so man of ansala. Personal and Nokopuro decision okay. I'm unnecessary now answer. What is irrelevant to the decision? Some answer, but then later on during Supreme Court a dismiss on that preliminary common jurisdiction settle. Because obviously maybe my interest settle water, but I did have it. So I'm very thankful to the president for that. Okay, but later on, say it's happened all in later years, means saying of a cabinet, say any other position, so to know the meaning cabinet position man killing. So maybe we'll do to require a British citizens every now. But you know, and political belonging is more personal, more partisan than professional. I'm not going to go into government to be controlled by political partisans. Minimum president, a policy level operatives like ministers, a chief of staff, lower level staff, many along the state house. Many members eventually be bola jail. You work on your sabatije. You know. So I remember me Dr. Siseko President Clueless Tale. I wrote an article that I published. Mbala yola de nite for women that violet. But I'll tell the president like Molmin Kresa, Yinimin Babale, Mankarang or anything. President Suleta will more than the technocrats. Because they will go into the field and campaign for you. They will persuade people for you, regardless of whether currently or not. It can model mainly in media. I'm not going to get into that. Or Marion Fangalon, but internal Neko, Mintara government, Nkombe Kudo Kelaje. President left on the Abela Moila Walla Lantet. So until to survive. In the Tara Nafanta Yada Toje. Even though Pajero is a Tarambu, Prado is a Tarambu, or whatever, but I Nafala Fen. I didn't want to do that. But I'm glad I didn't do that. Yes, I'm glad I didn't do that because Molian persuaded Lieutenant to become a judge. Very high up people, definitely. Not only left her, it would have been automatic. Then go to Georgia Kelano. nga banko jinyame mbe bokan system min kono akono yata bake lamba tum tol dol ngata banta because ni wonte ni kita jojoti chief justice a case ni assign ibe damale tal ya jela ni lafta mon ma ko le kam fata nyawnya ite o kelano wala tinna malla fit to be on the bench but ni wonte mon ni ya for nyo sabate woto it will have been automatic
now this brings me to this question. The dual citizenship warning before we proceed. Is it it's high time Gambia as a country nga jube. Nte believe sa lako banko president wonyanta single nationality lesoto. But when it comes to a minister, when it comes to deputy and other positions, I think Gambia yanta wujube because Gambia dinkende jamalo. Mini alongo with a lot of expertise. Wale banda covering 22 years of Jamila Mararoko. Gambian or mini silos to fintita. Kabri fintita, Jamaba fintita, asylum or lesoto, dole fintita, fure kaito lesoto, ye form of develop. I'm not saying these are one of the best experienced and educated people this country has produced. Ye experience soto, ye management skills soto, ye organization also because ye institutional me represent banta, but do call me na banta. Ya antu babu kukilim bije ni meta je discipline when it comes to time and processes. And untolo bankoka nja one of the biggest problem ti processes manso ta nyim bankoka. Nga homo ne kai to samba hani proposal ya sama office oto. Ika normal ya tama da na dunda office do dunda ye ka normal ko me kai dingo no manyame. Process. But people that walked outside this country, killing when it comes to showing up on time, when it following processes, understanding management issues and stuff like that. We have a lot of experienced Gambians. Many alonko banku kaiti jamal like they have dual citizenships. And to be honest, ni konte ko ya citizenship renounced to be a minister tackle. Ya man tackle. Natra ko a National Assembly member on the president man sembo soto puru ke bay. Kodi science so law I all. But the minister and president say appoint no BB so my ay bay. Ini la citizenship thing and no ni work eta ite ka pure murum back to banko do kan kata do ko keje. Abe kolyar. Sometimes the risk there is okay, after all these years, when a family established, for settled that, and then bimbo risk you're taking a pay cut most 90% of the time, you have a pay cut and to come and serve your country. But also you have to also renounce your citizenship. So when you were president, even more than a fall back to what? So this has been a big challenge for a lot of Gambians in the diaspora.
It makes people dishonest as well.
Yeah.
Because more like a minister out knowing full well when the dual nationals.
Yeah. I minister be me uncle dual citizen law.
Okay.
Nimbankoka.
Ni tata
tamala Europe. Ala European citizen after Europe aka moka aka tamini European passport wedami. But now go jang anal diplomatic passport. But abina ko be fintila nyato.
Yeah. Okay. So me ajibe unnecessary to do that. I can for points, Lawrence. I wrote about it. Yeah, because I wrote many countless articles. Yeah, so obviously you can well for go more with the diaspora. Yeah, not necessarily professional in the United Nations and things like that. No, I mean I have no sympathy for those people because really Jamaba. They didn't participate in the struggle.
So, yes.
Lokita presidency miracle, your ability certainly, that's fine. You know, woman can problem. But Molinia Lonko, they were at the forefront of the struggle. The Joe Sambus, Pasamba Jawal Sifal, Demba Balde Wali, Musajam Wali, Sarian Sise Wali, countless other people, Bankamane Wali. Yes, these were the towering people. They experience totally. They lived in America, they got the education. They can be part of a transformative process. So, how is it possible to serve at the policy levels of government? But obviously, political leadership at certain levels will find it comfortable to be in government with them. This is very complicated.
It is.
In after Mola Kodola, bari man la fe ala advice la ila ta mo la ko do la bari man la fe ay na ay del man sakunda kono because it amira wo be te do yes provisions min ya lon ko lafta ke change constitution kono ye wali change ya jel so obviously me interest pour ka we provisions for change to empower dual nationals. I say okay, no, yeah.
And I think it's in the interest of Gambia for now. Puruka wo luwa jube, including Gambian diaspora de carte fiber fanang itarano marara bundalto. Because you know when people are educated and they have experience, come somebody like you, jama, not all the time, jama independence. They don't care for it on president, but need to believe the minna.
Well, dole bijole not most more bijole min kawalike but most of them we are Ministerial fanamu palace ballot so obviously for president about to demanding so for president about to demanding ndawala fan kansilam the minister
ite menu la minister
wala kansilam dala because ni ko te wokela e be baylale e ni bay if for the citizenship la you know, I call Seattle. The main president min lata fangala. At the banko time the coming silola. Look, I'm just a transient human being. You mentala dulato, you know, maximum 10-15 years. I'm out of this place. You number president yala is about dunia fangato. So I don't know tambol man na fasoto. But of course, no more be power. Because either ye batu. Jamaba or ye by. Yes. So I've been willing, it's a complicated situation. But diaspora assistance make to usher in the 2017 government of His Excellency President Barrow, wo tambitale, wo kato tambitale. President Barrow ay diaspora bulaji, ay mol soto jele minni ya horome ya buye ya support. Mol bijele minni ma support. I make a problem to democracy in reality. But kasi kalo ka fo mi ba ko from fengolet. Ka fo man nafasoto. Ibe ko do behave to one for my dollar fa. Woman necessary. It's not necessary. He's a good man. You know. I don't find him a good man, Letty. Obviously, the area of governance, and I disagree with them completely. About governance, Bikatana Silol. And then race lane in Tata QTV with Sabali, he accepted. Because governance is important, but development lamukuati. For me, Sabali sentiment, I was very pleased with that. I don't know governance is so bijan. I accept development is important, but for me, governance is key. Yes. Then President Yakumba Jated by no one if I could take a walk. Along the, you know, beautiful flowers in the State House, alone and reflect on what your legacy would be. That legacy is not the mansions and the roads. It would be the governance on the law. Because governance on the law itself has an essential beauty about it. You may not be able to see it, but you can feel it. You know something special is taking place here.
Now, your government ministerial position or more something. You continue private practice, and you are now more like the lawyer for everybody. Miyalonko injustice face kanko or more miyalonko abakoleakono. It's a for nyama.
Well, I'm not easy, obviously, because model
why is that?
Well, Fatu, I live in two of the leading democracies in the world, the United States of America and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Look, I know these are global countries, very powerful. So obviously, they do have their problems, especially at the level of the international arena. Yes, they are invading other countries, they are bombing other countries, and all of that. But if you live in those countries domestically, then you know that they are answerable to their population.
That's true.
Yes, that is the Gambia I want. A Gambia where government cannot operate outside the boundaries of its competence, legally speaking. Because it's only a limited Republican government will be mbulujan, at least in the constitution or whatever. So the president is not everything. He has to collaborate with other people, with other arms of government, and of course with the people. That is why we have the fundamental freedoms in the constitution, no entrenched provisions. Yeah. So no constitution is still there. Because no matter okay, it president after Gambian line freedom of speech valuable, left freedom of choice in terms of religion, left valuable, conscience, left valuable. Of course, that will not pass. Nobody will agree. And in President in National Assembly, you must have the cooperation of the people in a referendum. Yeah. So you have to go to the referendum. Practice. Or support for political. Who is going to support that?
Yeah.
Motor support. Support. Yeah. Vote. They will not support it.
Yeah.
At a minimum vote at a certain level, obviously, may so to pass lano. Yeah. Because when we entering values, let a certain part of the population, the voting population, when they enter vote for the measure to pass. So it will not pass. But at the end of the day, it's an informal, limited government. Whether you believe the current president Barrow will leave at some point, if not through elections, certainly, what awaits every human being, death. Yeah. Ultimately, you are going to go.
Yes.
Yes. So, when not personalities, they come and go. The country remains. Yes. When I'm telling I think I'm more bar. When we were being called to the bar, that day was very, very uncomfortable. I'm telling Lubna Faraji and only call on the same day at the office of the Chief Justice because more full than Malum. So, entire speech kono ngamin for jenka wala saying ka attending wala myentiko governments come and go. The Gambia is permanent as far as the world is there. So let us go with the Gambia, not with partisan politicians. Wala muntala believed wala munna philosophy edunga woje NUP la constitutional kono la or the documents. Yeah.